America has no group in America has been more harmed by Hillary Clinton's policies than African Americans. No group. No group. If Hillary Clinton's goal was to inflict pain on the African American community, she could not have done a better job. It's a disgrace. Tonight,
this guy is a loser.
I'm asking for the vote of every single African American citizen in this country who wants to see a better future.
Didn't get my vote.
Look how much African American communities have suffered under Democratic control. To those I say the following: what do you have to lose by trying? What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose by trying? What do you have to lose by trying something new like Trump? What do you have to lose?
A lot.
I say it again. What do you have to lose? Look, what do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose?
A lot. Now, this was 8 years ago when Dump was running against Hillary Clinton, and he asked that question, right? And so, if we fast forward to today, it seems like we done lost a lot. Everybody, not just black people, but your people too. Let's take a look.
12 billion to zero. And then, as a farmer, we get up one morning and you give Argentina, which is our second biggest competition in the world. They're the largest exporters of soybean meal in the world. So I get up one morning, I turn the news on, and you give $20 billion of taxpayer money to my competition. And then the Chinese buy, I think the figure is 30 or 40 containers, ships, which is about 65,000 metric tons per ship, which is like 2.2 million bushels. So they buy 12 or 14 billion dollars worth of soybeans from the Argentinians after the tax holiday. And here's the caveat to it. They give $2.30 over the November board, while I'm getting 50 cents under the November board. We're going to plant canola this month. It's one of the few things we've found. It's moved into Arkansas. They're going to make renewable jet fuel.
In America, they lost all their workers because they got deported. And then they voted for Trump. And then
Lynn Valley Foods in Nebraska is likely going to be shut down unless they can rebuild quickly. See, immigration officials raided the meatpacking plant, and more than 70% of the workforce has either been detained or stopped showing up for work due to the fear of additional immigration raids.
Got Alaska today. Apparently our entire state is going to go bankrupt in 2 quarters. Me and my husband owned a cattle ranch here, and I can confirm that all of the cattle ranchers here overwhelmingly voted for Trump. We support him. We voted for him. Something like 70% of our entire workforce is undocumented immigrants, and they straight up are not showing up for work anymore.
Never thought I was going to lose this much money this fast. Thought I was going to lose this much money this fast.
Jim is a Republican who voted for Donald Trump 3 times.
How do you feel about your vote for Donald Trump now?
Well, I feel like perhaps I should have considered some other options.
Nebraska.
This is all over social media. All over social media. All you gotta type in is farmers that voted for Trump. Yeah, it seems like y'all lost a lot. Well, you know Jesus is black too, right? You know Jesus is black. Jesus is black. Christ is black. So, I think I wanted to create a video and show you just what your own people lost. To answer your question, What do you have to lose? Well, let's see.
Haven't seen this all over your For You page. You're probably about to, because healthcare is going to get a lot more expensive.
What I'm currently paying $240 every 2 weeks for is going up to $709 every 2 weeks.
People are noticing how much their premiums are going up, and they're not happy.
Last year, for me, it would have been $100 to $120 a month. I'm looking at the health premiums for this next open enrollment. $400. Just for me, no spouse, no kids.
So why are premiums going up? For anyone who buys a healthcare plan off the marketplace, there's been this policy to cap your premium based on how much money you make. It kept insurance premiums below 8.5% of your annual income at most. So people making under about $23,000 paid near zero for insurance premiums. But that policy is going away.
There's no health care for us. There's no doctor, there's no dentist, there's no gyno. Oh my God, I'm about to cry.
It's expiring at the end of 2025, and I don't buy my insurance from the marketplace. I honestly don't have great health insurance, but if I did, my premium would be going up around $270 thanks to the GOP.
Right now we're paying around $950. We will be now looking at a little bit over $1,300 a month for two people to have access to health insurance.
Here's the politics of the situation. The Affordable Care Act was amended in 2021 with the passage of the American Rescue Plan. This was done in order to make health insurance more affordable. The program is called the ACA Premium Tax Credit. If you bought a plan on the marketplace in the last 4 years, you've benefited from this program. It going away might mean your premium going up by hundreds of dollars. For example, if you earn $31,300 a year, your premium used to be capped at 2% of your annual income, and the rest was subsidized. Now, as this program expires, that bracket is set to pay $250 to $1,205 a month, depending on what state you live in. Democrats are fighting to keep this tax credit that lowers monthly premiums in place, but Republicans are refusing to play ball. They would rather let the government shut down than do their job and come up with a plan to make healthcare affordable in America. If you don't like this one, come up with something else. And it makes sense to make it affordable, right? Because people will pay an endless amount of money to stay alive, probably. So the government stepping in and regulating this industry just makes sense policy-wise. On top of all of this, because we live in America, health insurers are raising premiums by 18%. Because if healthcare prices are going up, they might as well.
So I want to give you a little insight as to what these healthcare costs are going to be next year if you buy your health care off of the exchange. For a family of 4 living in Maricopa who makes $82,000 a year, it's going to cost $754. Last year, that was $167. For a couple in their 60s in Prescott who make $54,000 a year, their health care is going to cost $878, where it was $154. Those are huge increases, and for many people, it's unaffordable. We're trying to fix this. We're standing up for what's right. We're trying to reduce your health care costs. Unfortunately, my Republican colleagues wanted to give a big, giant tax cut to rich people, and they're paying for it partially by raising the cost of your health care. That's what this fight is all about.
Health insurance premiums are about to increase by 18% for the rest of the year. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, that's not that much, that's not that bad. In 2026, when the subsidies go away because of Trump and his big, beautiful bill, health insurance premiums are going to be 118% more than they are right now. So if you go on right now, you try to get a health insurance plan in 2025, it's going to cost you around $950 or so on average. In 2026, when you try to get a health insurance plan on healthcare.gov, your premium will be around $1,900.
My name is Carla Zimmerman. I just retired in June from 25 years of teaching.
My name is Bartley Armitage. I've been in Eugene, Oregon for most of the 45 years. I was a union carpenter for over 30 years and still a member of the Carpenters Union.
Our current premium is $443 a month.
Through the ACA.
through the ACA, and which is manageable for us, both retirees. However, it's going up to $2,224.
God, woo! Dump. Look at what you did to your own people. These look like these could be your relatives. You need to be asking, what has your own people lost? And it's so crazy that when you was 45, we was in a government shutdown, and now that you're 47, we back in a government shutdown. So this proves that, you want to talk about, we're in poverty. Well, now the majority of America is about to be in poverty because of you. You lied to your supporters. You bewitched them. And you screwed them. And the sad part about this is, if Obama would have done this, if Obama would have been tearing down the White House to build some ballroom, if Obama had a government shutdown this long, y'all would have had that man's head. It's so crazy. It's like you were January 6th for the wrong purposes. This what's going on now is what should be January 6th and over. Nah, but y'all want to drag that man because he wore a tan suit. But Dump got you starving. And yet you sitting here looking like a fool. Just as feeble-minded as you can be. I would love to bring that to people's attention. If this was Obama, if Obama had people starving like this, if Obama, is doing the things that Dump is doing, these people will have his head. But because Dump looks like the people that he is screwing, they're going to play that silent card until they can't no more. You know how they do. When one do wrong, they just get silent, put their head down, or turn or act like they don't see or know what's going on. But the whole time they know. Like your white evangelical Christians that sit silent when the real children of Israel are gunned down, like Sonia Massey, Tamir Rice, George Floyd, Dante Wright, Philando Castillo. Dante Wright happened not too far from me. Literally down the street. And he was young, and all I could think about is this one former coworker that I used to work with. He a mixed breed, just like, the other guy that I just mentioned. And when it was time to vote, he said this didn't have nothing to do with him. And it's like, this has everything to do with you because you could be the next Dante Wright. But that's why this is going on, because God is doing this. God is doing this. And I keep telling y'all, this is the downfall of the white man. This is the downfall of Esau. This is what he did to his own people that trusted him. And then what's so crazy is y'all have so much disdain for black people, but a black person put this in place that people that look like these two depended on. And they'll turn around and not saying that they do, not saying nothing about these two because I don't know them, but I'm just saying how y'all people do. The people that look like these two on the screen, y'all are the reason why this is happening, because this is your nigga wake up call from God. the dirt is filled with our blood. It's literally soaked with our blood. You've never restored us. Even after you, quote unquote, set us free, which is, that's not true in Mississippi because they never ratified their amendment or something like that. They didn't get everything finalized until the 2000s. Okay? They tried in, I think, 1995 or 1997, but it didn't go through. They didn't get it finished until, I have a video on my page called I was speaking something about Juneteenth, and I talk about it there. It made the news and everything. So you never restored us. That's why this is going on. And yet you continue to send money to these other countries. Talking about the Christians in Nigeria when you got Christians here that are on the streets homeless. You got Christians here that's being persecuted. Well, an officer that looked like you shot a quote unquote Christian in the face when a real child of Zion, a real daughter of Zion, that Esau man shot her in the face when she told him, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. That spirit in him got so afraid that he did what he did. And it all goes back to Genesis 27. When Esau said, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, but afterwards, and I'm paraphrasing, he said he was going to kill his brother, Jacob. Well, they've been carrying the plan out. It's just that the real Jacob ain't paying attention. You know, but I find it quite so funny. I wonder who they voted for. Because even though I don't agree with everything Kamala Harris was about, and, you know, I keep saying it. When I saw Project 2025 and I heard him making mention of trying to become a dictator, nope. But I knew that it wasn't going to go through because, I mean, Democrats ain't got no fight. They don't, you know, the Republicans done rigged the situation, stolen, bought, whatever you want to say. And the Democrats so weak, they ain't going to challenge them. You know, but if it was the other way around, you bet your bottom dollar the Republicans would have been challenging, just like he did the last time when he wanted that recount and all of that stuff. The Democrats ain't got no fight. You know, they too busy trying to go high when they aim low. Well, where did that get you? Right out the presidency. Right out the White House. That's where that got you. So you need to adopt a new strategy. When they go low, you need to go to hell. Take that from Savage. That's the Savage method. Okay? That's my method. When they go low, bitch, I'm going to hell. Don't let me enter the White House. He gonna be all kind of cave dwelling monkey Neanderthal lips.
With the subsidy, it's manageable for us. We still live paycheck to paycheck, but it's manageable. The Affordable Care Act, we sort of counted on that in the interim period as retirees to sustain our health care. Without the subsidy, we honestly don't know what we're going to do.
Without the subsidy and with that kind of increase, It's like buying another house. Exactly. We don't know how we're going to have some health insurance and be able to afford it on a monthly basis.
The thing that gets me the most is that both of us have worked our whole lives. I always had faith that our government would, when we retired.
See, what people don't understand is that your government never made right with the people that they brought here. And the people that they brought here, God is calling for redemption, for restoration. And this is what I be talking about when I be saying these people have faith in the government. They really do. This is the same government that exterminated millions of indigenous people. The same government that was secretly spraying chemicals in the neighborhoods, in the ghettos of St. Louis in the 50s and the 60s. This is the same government that did 9/11. I'm not saying that, the people didn't have a tragedy. I'm not saying that at all. I ain't no conspiracy theorist. Mark my words. One day we gonna hear about it. Old Georgie boy had something to do with them Saudis. This is the government that they have faith in.
Just logged in to our health insurance provider and I can't even in July of 2025 our health insurance premium went from $59 a month to $798 a month.
I wonder who him and his partner voted for. Because and especially them white gays. Oh, baby. White gays for Trump, And then what's crazy is a lot of them Republicans, those, the white ones, they be DL. Y'all hear about this Grindr app always crashing in these sites. I mean, where these Republican national conventions is. Wherever the Republicans gonna be, it seems like the Grindr app always crashing. And I've reported it a few times in my videos. So it makes me question. I wonder who they voted for. Because as crazy as it is, these white gay, a lot of them, they will side with their own. They will cut their nose to spite their face. And a lot of those white gay men, they want to act like, they want to have the attitude of a quote-unquote black woman, But they sure wouldn't vote for one.
From $59 a month to $798 a month. And since it is now open enrollment, I just logged in to our health insurance to see if we stay on the same plan, what our premium is going to be for 2026. $1,208.91 a month. Our family deductible has gone from $0 to $11,900.
Damn.
From $0 to $11,900. Family deductible has gone from $0 to $11,900. Our primary care copays have doubled. urgent care copay went from $10 to $60. Our generic prescription copay has doubled. And this is coming off of the fact that my husband just had to have a prescription filled that is supposed to be covered by insurance. And you want to know what the copay was on that after insurance?
I knew it.
$1,200 prescription. On top of the $798 health insurance premium that we just paid. And this doesn't have to do, this is separate from everyone else's rising costs in health insurance, but we are self-employed. We are real estate agents.
I'm sorry, but as I'm listening, and I feel bad. I do feel bad for this guy, but see, I know this side of this world, the LGBTQIA world. I know this side. And I'm sorry, he is sounding like he is fitting the profile of a white gay for Trump. And I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, I do apologize. But I am telling you, these white gay men, a lot of them, even the ones that didn't feel too good about it, because it was a lot of, and see, this is what certain, people, like, especially in the trans movement, don't get. These people gonna always back their own. When given a chance, and then when they see your black self trying to take up for them, they gonna stop abusing their own just for a smidget, just for a little bit, to make them feel accepted. Then they gonna look at you like, tuh, I don't need you, peasant. And how you looking there all stupid. And that's to some of them trans activists that be taking up for the quote unquote white girls. They will be quick to run and back them, but when the shoe is on the other foot, it's crickets, silence. Oh yes, it happens over on this side too. Yep. So I don't know if he is, I don't know if he not, but I do know that there was a big movement of white gay men for Trump.
SavagePOV, F around and find out. Affordable Care Act premiums have doubled in Florida as we speak. It varies again by your age, by your group, by your plan, by your family members. But in general, headlines across Florida, the prices have doubled across Florida. Well, you know what? Donald Trump told you they were going to make these changes. And who did you vote for? MAGA. You voted for Donald Trump. So I don't want to hear you all complaining that they've now done this. Now, do I think it's a right thing or a wrong thing? I think it's a wrong thing to have done. But they told you they were going to do this. This is in Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill. Donald Trump and the Republicans are the ones that are taking away your subsidies to help lower your insurance costs. They don't care whether your family has insurance or not.
Found out today from the marketplace that instead of paying $650 a month for health insurance for my son and me, I'm now going to be paying with my current plan $1,151 and some cents. My son and me, I'm now going to be paying with my current plan $1,151 and some cents per month for my monthly premium, and my deductible is increasing from $1,500 to $4,000.
Lie about being the biggest recipients of food stamps, and now we finding out that y'all been lying to the government, scamming all of our hard-earned tax dollars. All that talk about black people being a drain on society, when I don't see my folks up there. All that talk of being lazy and dependent on the system, when I don't see my people up there scamming the government, stealing our hard-earned tax dollars. Bro, they said this was the largest food stamp fraud ring in the nation. And I had to get a magnifying glass and zoom in just to make sure that none of my folks is up there. See, y'all love to project on us who y'all are. You said we were the biggest recipients of welfare, and the lie detector test has determined that is a lie. You said we're mooching and leeching off of the government when that too is a lie. And then you act like your people are so innocent and so hardworking and law-abiding citizens when we clearly can see with our own eyes who's defrauding the government and scamming and being criminals. But I know y'all gonna ignore this, and you're gonna have some type of an excuse on why they had a reason to lie and steal and be criminals.
Look at this dumb shit.
As a source, and says 614,000 drivers might exit trucking amid Trump's immigration crackdown. President Donald Trump's English language mandate for drivers, DOT's new rule tightening rules for non-citizen drivers, and serious immigration enforcement on the interstate. So we're talking about the trifecta of all three here, right? Might push as many as 800,000 CDL holders out of commercial driving. Wow. And this was written by economist Noel Perry, and he did this study for J.B. Hunt.
Now, actually, I ain't against this.
Do you speak any English? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Do you speak
Farmers and truckers voted for President Dump in 2016. Ahead of 2020, the two groups are increasingly wary of Trump and the policies he's put in place. He has not affected our business in a positive way. He's killing our business. Wow.
Had a heavy presence in Chicago lately, and the people of Chicago haven't been too happy about it. And ICE, as a result, has been lashing out back at them, not just at the people, but also at the police.
Protesters confronted federal immigration agents in Brighton Park on Saturday. They were met with pepper balls and more repression. CPD responded to attempt to de-escalate the situation, and ICE tear-gassed our police officers.
They called for help. The police showed up to help them, and they responded by pepper spraying and tear gassing the police. And you know why? Because ICE is not the police. ICE is a gang, a violent, poorly trained gang that has been given way too much power. And we keep seeing examples like this, where they grabbed a man out of his car at an intersection for no discernible reason, and the locals are like, what are you doing? And confront them. Meanwhile, they're bumbling idiots who can't even subdue this one man and put him in cuffs. And after being confronted by the people in this neighborhood, they finally let him go and walk away. You don't do that if you have a warrant, you know exactly who you're dealing with. There was another situation in Chicago. They grabbed two men who were documented, who were legal. They're pulling them away. The people are like, no, what are you doing? Confront them. They finally get in their car. They drive 2 blocks away. They let those two men out because they had no reason to have them in the first place. They are just grabbing people who they perceive as possibly being illegal, AKA brown people. And they're doing this because they don't know what they're doing, because they aren't trained, because they're just a gang of assholes. And you know what gangs don't like? They don't like the police. And that's why, also in Chicago, allegedly, they've been weaponizing the 911 system.
You are watching as Broadview police respond to a 911 call, claiming someone was tampering with a gate at the ICE detention facility there. Body camera footage obtained by the CBS News Chicago investigators shows several Broadview police officers respond to an alleged Homeland Security threat. But when police arrive, all they find is 2 people and a camera. Our CBS photographer filming the exterior of the building with a CBS security guard by his side.
Okay, you guys didn't tamper with any of the...
No, man. The 911 call claiming someone was tampering with the gate came from an ICE agent. According to this incident report, an ICE agent called police for help.
Do you believe that that was a false call? I do. In your mind, bogus? Yes. It's disturbing. It's ridiculous.
Broadview Police Chief Thomas Mills says this is just one of several questionable 911 calls his police department has received from ICE at this facility recently.
I'm just going to leave you with this.
This isn't Venezuela, okay? This isn't Russia. This is America. That is an ICE agent pepper spraying David Black, the pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Chicago, in the face for just being in his way. Wasn't violent, didn't try and touch him, and pepper sprayed him. This is the kind of shit we usually see from countries in turmoil. And guess what? That's why we're seeing it. Because we're a country in turmoil. A country that has been turned over to be run by thugs serving our little king on high there. ICE is bullshit. They aren't the cops. Supporting them is not backing the blue. And we should rise up against these people in every possible legal way and say we will not stand for this.
I like his content, and so I watch a few of his videos, and so yeah, this is what's going on. So okay, so far, because Trump asked, what do we have to lose? So looks like, the police have lost their right to police. People lost their health care. People lost their SNAP benefits. The poor farmers. Poor farmers. But you know what? That's about all they'll get from me, because you paid a high price for your racism. Paid a high price for your racism. So this is one of my favorite YouTubers, Lovely T, of Lovely T TV. Make sure you check out her content. And so on to what have we lost, or what do we have to lose? Well, let's see.
So let's go ahead and watch what the shutdown is doing to the airline industry currently.
And in Houston, at times, security lines spilled over outside the airport. At one point, the wait at TSA checkpoints was more than 3 hours long. Hugo Gianluca.
Somebody said in the comments section on Instagram, they were in that mess in Houston. You guys know, like every year I do like a Friendsgiving get together.
To travelers in Houston about their frustrations.
Got here early, and am I glad I did. Look at this mess.
A mess indeed. Houston airport officials are urging passengers to get here early. This KHO11 viewer, listen to that advice.
You got here 4 hours before your flight. Why is that?
Saw on the news at 6 a.m. KHOU that it was going to be a 3-hour wait. So here we are.
Long security wait times could last as long as the federal government is still shut down due to staff shortages. Some travelers underestimated just how bad it would be.
I think we're going to miss the flight.
How do you feel about that, sir?
Terrible. We're so concerned about it.
What was your reaction when you saw the line?
I want to cancel.
She ended up sticking it out. At Bush Airport, only TSA checkpoints at terminals A and E are open for passengers. At Hobby Airport, fewer screening lanes are open with wait times exceeding over an hour. Some passengers were ready to wait.
Get here early and be patient. That's the only thing you can do.
And was the worst for air traffic control staffing shortages since the shutdown began on October 1st. That's according to FAA data. There were 98 staffing trigger reports. That's when air traffic controllers have to change operations to keep the airspace safe with fewer people working. It can include derouting planes or delaying flights. Experts have warned travelers would see more flight disruptions the longer federal workers have to go without a paycheck. Brianna Costello spoke with an air traffic controller in Dallas who says he had to pick up another job to support his family.
Safety in the sky is a growing concern as the federal shutdown enters its 5th week.
I don't want to sit down and map out how long I can go. I think that'll cause me more anxiety than anything.
Air traffic controller Jack Chris is one of thousands of federal workers who are working without pay.
short staffing, high workload, and then not knowing when you're going to get paid. That just sounds like a recipe right there.
Chris spent most of his career at Dallas Love Field before moving to the D.C. area for his 15-year-old daughter last year. He's still going to work, but now he has a second job. He's working for DoorDash to keep food on the table.
The political games have real-life implications, and I just urge Congress to get something passed.
He missed his first full paycheck. Airlines are scrambling to help. In Texas,
This is so I wanna hit on that first before we watch what happened in Kentucky. So this is the warning. So Sean Duffy issued this warning 6 hours ago.
You all stop.
So we're gonna watch this really quick here.
Long after you all stop reporting on this shutdown, I'm going to deal with the consequences and the commitments I've made to improve our pipeline for air traffic controllers. By the way, we're up 20% this year alone from the previous year, which is great, but this will have an impact. So I think open up, more controllers come to work the next day, and we'll see immediate results. Just one point I'll make on this as well. The controllers got 90% of one payment, 80 to 90% of one payment. They missed the second paycheck. On Thursday, they get an email pay stub that'll show what their next payment is going to be. So this Thursday, they'll get an email that shows that their pay stub is a big fat zero. Many of the controllers said, a lot of us can navigate missing one paycheck. Not everybody, but a lot of us can. None of us can manage missing two paychecks. So if you bring us to a week from today, Democrats, you will see mass chaos, you will see mass flight delays, you'll see mass cancellations, and you may see us close certain parts of the airspace because we just cannot manage it because we don't have the air traffic controllers. And that was a really long answer to your question. Yes.
Just to follow up, Dave, share some words on that.
So if you bring us to a week from today, Democrats, you will see mass chaos, you will see mass flight delays, you'll see mass cancellations, and you may see us close certain parts of the airspace because we just cannot manage it because we don't have the air traffic controllers. And that was a really long answer to your question.
To those I say the following. What do you have to lose by trying? What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? I say the following. What do you have to lose by trying? What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose by trying? What do you have to lose by trying something new like Trump? What do you have to lose?
A lot.
I say it again. What do you have to lose? Look, what do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. Living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. What do you have to lose? Look, what do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. And what do you have to lose? Look, what do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs.
The signs are evident. The signs are so evident, y'all. I seen it a lot of ways, but especially with this.
I got you. Yeah. No, you're okay. This happens when I talk too long. There you go. You're okay. I'm right here. I got you. Yeah. No, you're okay. This happens when I talk too long. You'll be okay. The one illness.
Look at the difference.
I'm right here. I got you. Yeah. No, you're okay. This happens when I talk too long.
We have some news right now. The Trump administration has filed an emergency appeal trying to stay, essentially block, a court order yesterday to pay out full SNAP benefits today. Trump does not want to pay out SNAP benefits. Vance does not want to pay out SNAP benefits, and they're filing an emergency appeal to the First Circuit Court of Appeals, which is the kind of middle court between the district court that ruled yesterday and then the Supreme Court that would be next. And they're saying we shouldn't have to do this. Remember, for a long time, Trump was saying that legally we cannot pay out these funds to SNAP. What people don't realize is that Congress actually essentially said, here's $5 billion. We're going to put this in an emergency fund. And when there's an emergency, you can use that to pay out SNAP benefits. Trump says, well, we can't touch that even though Congress gave us the money to do that. And the court's like, well, you have to pay out this money. It's $5 billion. It covers about 2 to 3 weeks of SNAP. And, well, now they're fighting in the courts. Trump doesn't want to pay out while Americans go hungry. Spread the word. Follow along, stay up to date on all the news that you need to know about. More to come.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350. Now, what am I supposed to do? So I literally just got this piece of mail today saying that due to new policy changes from the Trump administration, all this shit, whatever, that all these cuts and whatever he's doing over there, Now they're telling me I have to go work. Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids. Okay. I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them. I'm not trying to go work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills. I just really don't understand. I voted for him this last election.
Wow.
Because I thought what he had good was going on, but now all of a sudden, all this policy stuff's coming out, and now he's making all these cuts, and now he doesn't want to help the less fortunate people no more.
You definitely
I'm
don't
done with that
deserve
guy.
it.
I'm done with that guy. I'm not. If
You cave dweller, waste of, you pale faced demon, goddamn monkey lips, you. Ugh. How could you be so dumb? Man, but this is why I'm doing this video. Cause he asked you, what did you have to lose? Well, that reduction in your food stamps is what you had to lose for voting for him. And now you done with him. Yeah, now he in office now. I wonder what else is he gonna take from you. Don't let your kids around him. He might want to grab one of them by the... You know what?
Somebody to fucking tell me they're lying. I need somebody to fucking tell me they're lying. I need somebody to fucking tell me they're lying right fucking now. Because what the fuck do you mean that I'm not gonna get my fucking SNAP benefits? What the fuck do you mean? Because what the fuck is happening? Do you understand that there are people like me who cannot work? Do you understand there are people like me who have kids who cannot eat? Do you understand there are people like me who go hungry the last week of the month just so my kids can't eat? Because SNAP benefits is all we fucking get. I need somebody to please fucking tell me he's lying. I can't.
Wow, Trump, you got your people on their knees. You got your people that look like you on their knees. Wow. And you so worried about the black community. Look like your people that look like you is living in poverty too. I'm not calling her Becky. I'm changing her name to Boom Squeesha. Guess ghetto got a different look, huh? This is y'all reality check. This is y'all nigga wake up call. And I'm sorry, I don't know who this girl is. I don't know who she voted for yet. And I don't even want to play the rest of the video because if she says she voted for him, okay? But you got your people down here on your knees. On their knees.
Are you fucking kidding me? This guy wants to create a ballroom for his rich friends while completely turning a blind eye to the fact that babies are going to starve when the SNAP benefits end in just hours from now? Come on. So what? I'm not going to be distracted by, oh, does the guy have a big fucking hammer? What about those babies?
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me? This guy wants to create a ballroom for his rich friends while completely turning a blind eye to the fact that babies are going to starve when the SNAP benefits end in just hours from now? Come on. So I'm not going to be distracted by, oh, does the guy have a big fucking hammer? What about those babies?
This is the one that you didn't want to vote for. Because, oh, well, I don't know if her policies. Hey, to all the people who voted independent, how you feeling now? How you feeling now that your SNAP benefits are gone? And I'm not trying to rub it in your face, but how are you feeling now? Does it matter now? What about her policies now? Because her policies didn't include none of this that you're going through. Just like Obama, she wanted health care for you. For everybody. But this is who you didn't want to vote for, because she had some black in her. Your racism is expensive. This is an excerpt from another one of my people that I like to watch, Being Beautifully Honest. Make sure you check her out. Like, she be spitting fire, man. Like, I love her views when, like, she be talking about the church and the scandals. It's like, finally somebody else can see, like, this is what they doing in these churches is wrong. But make sure you check her out. But let's talk about some of these blacks for Trump as well. Because he did ask that question to the black community. So let's find out what a few black folks lost.
We need a president who will unite our country. We need Donald Trump.
That man was looking at him like, you are a damn idiot. Like, look at this dumb nigga. That's how he was looking at him before he smiled.
U.S. Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina endorsing Donald Trump just last year. But let's fast forward to this year. Not even 3 months into this administration, the Commerce Department's Minority Business Development Agency was cut. This was a program supported by and invested heavily in by Senator Scott. Cut. Next, we have Virginia Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears. Now, this is the same woman who has said that Brown versus Board of Education was about parental choice and not segregation. She said that DEI is nonsense. She said that we just need to move on from slavery. And she said someone who is fired for being gay from a job is not discrimination. This woman stood on the stage last year and endorsed Trump heavily. Now she's running for governor of Virginia. And not only has he not campaigned for her, but he hasn't fully endorsed her.
And she lost.
Right.
And that election is tomorrow. So, yeah. Then we go to Texas, where current...
And I'm glad you lost down there in Virginia. I'm glad you lost. And I'm going to be, because see, I'm on Being Beautifully Honest page right now. But see, I'm going to be brutally honest when I say, I hope that don't nothing happen to you. But if something was to ever happen to you, it's certain one of our people, if something was to happen to them, like if I saw them, something, I'm not gonna feel tired. I'm not gonna feel bad. No ways. I ain't gonna rally. I ain't gonna protest. Nope. Just gonna sit there and just look. And she one of them. It's a few on here.
U.S. Congressman Wesley Hunt had this to say when asked about how he feels about the current Republican agenda.
Quite frankly, I can't think of one thing that he has done that I disagree with. I'm actually very, very proud of these efforts.
Wow.
I'm actually very proud that I helped get him elected. I was proud to be the first to endorse him in this country.
Well, it looks like Republican leadership disagrees with some things that he's doing, because he's currently running for U.S. Senator in Texas, and the National Republican Senatorial Committee is allegedly telling people not to support his candidacy, calling it a wasteful vanity project.
Dumb nigga.
Then we go to the 21% of black men and the 7% of black women who voted for Trump in the 2024 election. Fast forward to today. Black unemployment is reaching historic highs. A federal judge literally had to rule for Trump to use funds so people could eat. And he loves blacks so much that out of his entire cabinet, there is only one black person. And that black person went to Capitol Hill, sat in front of Congress, and proposed drastic cuts to rental assistance, affordable housing, and community development.
It's like, how wicked can you be?
Right.
Seriously, it's just disgusting.
So to all of the black people that voted for this current occupant of the White House, I have one question for you, and it's very simple. How is your vote working out for you now?
Calling it the Democratic plantation or whatever, but yet, are you in the house? You may not want to be out in the field, but are you in the house?
Right.
Are you a house nigga? I'm sorry to put it like that, but seriously, are you a house nigger?
Right.
Because it's clearly not really working out for them either.
Exactly.
And even a week into his presidency, back in January 2025, the occupant of the White House fired Gwen Wilcox, the first black woman to serve on the National Labor Relations Board. Prior to getting fired, she ended up becoming chair of that board. Well, after she was fired, she was replaced as chair by Republican Marvin E. Kaplan. The following month, February 2025, the occupant of the White House fired General C.Q. Brown Jr. from his role as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He was only the second black person to hold that role. He replaced him with retired Air Force Lieutenant General Dan Kane, who hadn't served as a 4-star general or admiral. In fact, they had to promote him to 4-star and get a waiver signed by the president right before his Senate confirmation so he could legally qualify for the job. In April 2025, Politico reported that the White House asked Willie Phillips, the black chairman of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, to step down, and he did. He was later replaced by David Lassert, a Trump ally with no prior FERC experience.
Pause it for a moment.
All
Remember,
white.
what the hell do you have to lose? A lot of jobs. Why
Right.
was he getting rid of all of these black people who had been in these positions for years, mind you, and qualified? All of the bullcrap they talked about, DEI, all of these people getting these jobs because of DEI. No, what diversity, equity, and inclusion, which actually worked out better for white women than it did for minority ethnicities.
Hello.
But being a female is considered to be a minority.
And not to cut her off, but this been a plan from the jump. That's how they always have kept us down. Because when civil rights was initially started, they had a pool of money that was supposed to be just for black people. But when civil rights came, and now you have your white women, they're considered minorities, that is a crock of shit. Because anytime they're gonna support their husbands, and and what I don't get is with white women, they love to act like they wasn't out there when they were roasting us. They love to act like they wasn't out there when they were lynching us. And when I say roasting, I mean putting us on that thing that you turn over a fire. With the handle, and you turn it slowly, like you roasting animal. Well, no, that's what they used to do to us. They used to cannibalize. They've used our skin for their purses. They've used our teeth. They used our hair. They made furniture. Okay? And so it's a slap in the face when civil rights come. Now white women are considered minorities. Now the LGBTQIA is considered minorities, and it's no problems, for the black ones, but not these white ones. I don't care. I'm always back my own first. Even if we might have a disagreement, or that's in house. But on the playing field, I'm for my people, period. We might disagree and we might not get along and we might have our differences, but it is what it is.
But being a female is considered to be a minority.
Mm-hmm.
So it gave them the opportunities to be considered, not just giving them the jobs because they were Black people. So all of these Black faces that you see here getting fired or being asked to step down, why were they being replaced with white people? So him saying, what the hell do you have to lose? A lot of jobs.
Exactly.
A month after that, in May, Alvin Brown, the former Jacksonville mayor who was serving as the vice chair of the National Transportation Safety Board, was removed. The administration wants to replace him with John DeLue, an American Airlines pilot and safety official. That same month, Dr. Carla Hayden, the first Black person and first woman to serve as Librarian of Congress, was fired. The White House named Todd Blanche as the acting librarian. But Deputy Librarian Robert Newland, who by library rule would take over, also claims the role. So as of now, they're both listed as acting in a disputed position.
Damn, so it took two of y'all little grease ball ass cave dwellers to fill one Black woman's shoes? You go head on, sister. You go head on with your bad self. Look at her. Look at that hair laid, honey. Look at them eyebrows snatched. Look at that skin shiny, healthy, beautiful. Look at her. That's royalty. That's a queen. Okay? Something that y'all couldn't even live up to. It take two of y'all to be one of her. You want to know why? Because she's the mother.
In a disputed position. It's important to note that Todd Blanche has no public background in library science, archival management, cataloging, or managing a major cultural institution. Then in August, Robert Primus, one of the last Black members of the Surface Transportation Board, fired, and there's still no permanent replacement for his role. That same month, the White House moved to fire Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, the first Black woman to serve on the Federal Reserve's Board of Governors. But because of a decision by the Supreme Court, she still has her job. Then, if you look at this administration's cabinet, there's only one Black person, Scott Turner. Guess what role he has? Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Since the start of this administration, over 300,000 Black women have either been laid off or pushed out of their jobs. Everything I just mentioned, it's not my opinion. These are facts. This is real life. And as you've heard these facts laid out, what do you see?
Right.
Yeah. And it's disgusting what
I'm not going to even waste my time with this bum. But I just want to say he is getting everything he deserves. Okay? You went over there to Israel. You the real Judah getting spit on by some imposter converts. But then want to be over here talking about who ass you gonna beat of your own people. But you ain't beat their ass when you got spit on. Oh, I'm sorry, it was only one time. Fuck out of here, weak ass bastard. You getting everything you deserve. If you made it this far in the video, I really do appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. And I just want to say, man, this is a little, I don't care. It's a little mini victory for me, man. I'm celebrating my little wins, because this is my page and this is the first video, my latest video that has ever gotten this many views. And like I said, I know one day that my work is going to be discovered, and I have a lot of information here, and it's just like, I have a lot of information, a lot of good stuff, my fellow Americans, and then some of these is just, me screen recording videos that I've already recorded, and you can already, you'll already be able to find it. But yeah, I have oils too. I sell oils, authentic grade A oils. See that one, huh? Yeah, make sure you check that out. See, I've been talking about this stuff. Now, for all my people that's in church, the church, because I'm about to go into this next portion, man, if I could get, it's these two videos right here. The one with these two videos, the two at the top right here, right now. There's one for 3 hours and 21 minutes, and the other one is 4 hours, but it is good content. It's good content. All I ask is that you hear me out. Just hear me out. Yes, I know it's long, but it's good. And they just keep jumping, man. But I am so grateful. I am so grateful. And I even got a new subscriber. So whoever you are, definitely appreciate you. I don't know, much. I just make videos and I post them, you know what I'm saying? Like I create content, but like I said, the other people, who I'm showing you, they are content creators, They get paid for their work. I don't get paid for this, and my page ain't monetized, so I ain't making no money, and I ain't asking for none either. I'm just letting you know. I do this because this is in me. I've tried to get away from this, and it just don't work. That's how I know I'm supposed to be doing it. So, if you have a dream or a goal, never give up. Never give up. Never give up on yourself, and never be afraid to stand alone. Hey! It's gonna be one of those kind of videos today. Well, let me see.
Only see what your eyes want to see. How can life be what you want it to be? You're frozen when your heart's not open. You're so consumed with how much you get. You waste your time with hate and regret. You're broken when your heart's not. Only see what you.
My message to Esau. These two videos right here, you can actually check these videos out. I've been, for the past 10 years, man, talking about this. Didn't President Dump say that he knows that he is not getting into heaven? It's Wisdom of Solomon. You need to read Wisdom of Solomon 2. Look at what it's saying, verse 1. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. This is what's going on in this country right now. You see these wicked leaders. They do not care about millions of children starving, going hungry. It's wrong. This is where we are at. This is why the Roman Catholic Church removed these lost books out of the Bible. So you would not know this in the end times. Read verse 3 and 4. And our name shall be forgotten in time. Look at verse 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged. Why ain't they telling you this in church? Because they don't know it. Let's look at these pictures. Okay, now, the top, you see the earth before Esau. Esau is the white man. Came from the caves. They lost their melanin, any little melanin that they had, because they was driven up to the caves, Mount Seir, and they made it with the Horites. The Horites was mixed with Nephilim. So Esau made it with the Nephilim, and they became one with the Horites. And Kittim. And I believe those are the Romans. But anyway, the top is the picture of the earth. What they try to make you think it looked like. But then the bottom is what it actually looks like. With all the space junk, all the telescopes and everything around it. But look, when God come back, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. Who used the eagle? And though thou set thy nest among the stars. What do you think that means? That's this bottom earth right here. That's what that means. Though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Because when the Most High, when Christ return, he's coming and he's going to knock all of these satellites and all this space junk that's hovering around the earth. He going to knock that stuff to the earth. And President Dump, see, his lineage is Esau. And you have to understand, his heart is being hardened like Pharaoh's. And he know, these people at the top, they know that Christ is coming back. They know Christ is black. They know this. And so that's why they trying to build up their space stations. And, you know, they want to create weapons in space and stuff like that. But they're going to be defeated. Quick. Don't trust. That's so funny. Don't trust Taurus. Esau, results of living by the sword. Because if you read in Genesis 27, I believe that's where Isaac told Esau that he would rule by the sword. This is the result of that. Tithing was food. Tithes is food. This is from the last video. So, tithing was food. And my favorite question. I have been asking one simple logical question for 10 years now. How do you get 3 days and 3 nights out of Friday to Sunday? The debate is not about Christ coming in the flesh, dying on the cross, and rising again, because I know for a fact that it happened. Just not the way you silly Christians teach it. Christ was placed in the tomb on Saturday and rose on Tuesday while the Feast of Unleavened Bread was going on. The church teaches a Roman Catholic doctrine. Sunday resurrection is a lie. I guess it only matters when someone lies on your child. It's going to be tough trying to explain to God why you celebrated lies on his son. The church has been teaching blasphemy for years. Always keep in mind, like Marcella said, while you're having church, the leadership is conducting business. Let's look at this. Jesus was placed in the tomb on Friday, spent the Sabbath. So they identify Saturday as the Sabbath. So why don't you? Remember the Sabbath. Isaiah 58. That's why we're going through all of this stuff. Because what seems so small to you is actually so big to the Most High. You're not going to see it until Judgment Day. Spent the Sabbath in the tomb on Saturday and rose from the dead on Sunday, the first day of the week. This is often understood as 3 days by counting any part of a day as a full day. See, that's how you know this stuff is weird stuff too, because it's like, okay, now let's go to this other picture. And so I asked in this question, it's Friday morning to Sunday morning, 3 days and 3 nights. No, Friday morning to Sunday morning is only about 2 days and 2 nights, not 3 full days and 3 full nights. To have 3 full days and 3 full nights, you will need 72 hours. So Yeshua died Good Friday and rose Easter Sunday for 3 days and 3 nights, right? Okay, let's count together. Friday to Saturday, 1 day. Saturday to Sunday, 2 days. Sunday to Monday, 3 days. Somebody lied to you. You have been deceived. Read your Bible. No, I'm telling you. Christ was placed in the tomb on Saturday and he rose on Tuesday. See, they fight so hard to keep everything about Sunday. And I already have a video that I've already done on the truth about Sunday. You know, from pen and paper to video. You can be in your feelings all you want, but the fact of the matter is this. Before 325 AD, Messianics, people who believed in Christ, because the earliest believers of Christ were called Messianics, not Christians. Christians was around back then, but they were pagans and they were worshiping another god called Mithras. But anyway, you could be in your feelings all you want, but the fact of the matter is this. Before 325 AD, Messianics, people who believed in Christ, went to church on Saturday, like the Most High commands. After 325 AD, people who believed in Christ were forced by decree to work to dishonor the Sabbath on Saturday and join the pagans who were already calling themselves Christians in worship of Mithras and worship of other gods on Sunday. This is how people became Sunday worshiping Christians. The same people who changed the day will produce offsprings who upheld this Sunday tradition while we were in slavery here. I did a full lesson on this topic. It's about 3 to 4 30-minute videos, same title, The Truth About Sunday. You can find them on my YouTube page, but the link is below to the facts evidence portion. Oh yeah, because I have one video where I just show you all the facts and quotes from the Roman Catholic Church, which is Satan's church, and these these different denominations like the Pentecostals, Baptiste, Church of Garbage and Crisis, the biggest cult. The biggest cult. They bigger than Jehovah's Witnesses. But they are all daughters of the mother harlot. They are extensions of the Roman Catholic Church. John, not me, would always say, so I'm going to hell for going to church on Sunday. I would always say yes, but not just for Sunday worship alone. And I'm reading this for losers like that Talbert Swan. Man, what a loser. You ain't nothing but a chump. You sit up here and what you want, accolades for what? Being on the NAACP when the NAACP was started by ill-ish people. I have a video on them too. Ain't nothing righteous about you, bro. You a sellout. That's what you are. And a hit dog gonna holler. But see, unlike these other vloggers, and I can't say all of them, but you know, unlike these other vloggers, I ain't no vlogger. I'm gonna prove that y'all doctrine is false. Christ ain't false. You false. Niggas like you. Like Talbert Swan, Marvin Sapp, Marvin Winans. Oh, big slow self. I don't see how people get so caught up like in his celebrity. Like I'm talking about this Marvin Winans character. He look big and slow. You must have been a big slow brother. BB can sing. I mean Marvin Winans got a nice tone, but BB can sing. You know, you got your legacy because of that family name. God ain't called you and you've been building this church for 20 years. You a scam artist, man. And you gonna burn in the pits of hell right with Talbert Swan. You going to hell too. You and your fake ass hair piece. Looking like a reject Steve Harvey. Talbert Swan. Marvin Sapp. Fred Hammond. Juanita buying that hoe. Because she a hoe that needs to be bound. A major scam artist. Them demons gonna have fun with Juanita Bynum's spirit in hell. You just watch. They're gonna have fun with her. They're gonna talk about some woman that are loose. Yeah, your spirit is gonna be real loose. You're gonna be in pieces. This demon gonna have a piece over here. This demon gonna have a piece over here. And that's all they're gonna be saying is, woman, thou art loose. Because you a scam artist scamming people out of their money. I heard about your contract, how much you charge people. You are a scam artist. Boxers. And ain't nobody really telling y'all, but y'all gonna bust hell wide open. Y'all gonna be the first ones. Because y'all the ones that are the many that shall come in my name. It's gonna be many false prophets that rise in the last days. And I'm naming them. Juanita buying that hoe. TD Jake, the snake. Mistake. Create a flow of dollars. Brianna Carnisha girl. Benny Hennessy, who had an affair with Paula Not So Pure White, who ex-husband was a crackhead. Joyce Joker Face Michael Myers, because she do look like Jack Nicholson that played the Joker, she looked just like him. That's a demon. Y'all don't even know what a corrupt spirit is. That's a demon. And you marvel after it. Did I say creative flow of dollars, aka Dunstan checks in? I loved you in that movie. The wannabe so-called Bishop Lamar, all I want is head, and scammed all them people out of the millions of dollars, his own members. Kirby John Caldwell, old alien vulture, weirdo looking ass, scamming his member out of $3.6 million. All false prophets. You know, and on my last video, I said something highly about Jamal Bryant, but now you back on my shit list because now you got this false prophet in your church asking members to sow a seed for $5,000. Then trying to downplay this ain't going towards no, man, shut your stupid self up. You gonna burn in hell. Y'all are violating the scriptures. And y'all are causing the Most High's people to violate the scriptures when you have them standing in these lines, in these $1,000 lines, in these $100 lines. You are violating Matthew 6, 1 through 4. And you are leading people to do this. You leading people to do this. Then coming out trying to justify it. I seen on another video, ain't nobody talking about how Marvin wanted to snatch the one offering out the lady's hand, and then I guess the lady that she didn't have she didn't have a lot of money to give, but that man is a scam artist, bro. God ain't told you to build nothing. 70 condos or 70, man, please. Scam artists. And y'all fall for it. It just proves that y'all don't know the scriptures. And then this loser, Talbert Swan, talking about some the people talking about the church and trying to talk about their lives and their marriages. No, we watching the news. Y'all ended up on the news. Bishop and pastor after bishop and pastor molesting little boys and girls, being adulterers. You're getting mad at the people. You need to be mad at yourself. And you need to address it with the Most High, because the Most High is the one that's exposing y'all. In the last days, didn't he say judgment was going to start at the church? What you think it looked like? What's going on right now? And you the loser that's mad because you're getting outed. People starting to wake up and see y'all for the wolves in sheep's clothing and a fake ass hairpiece. Or that's what it looked like. Think you doing something because you work for the NAACP and you calling yourself like you do for your people. Man, that organization is false. Just like you. You want to rep the NAACP, but even their highest honor is named after a Jewish person, a Jewish imposter convert. And they finance civil rights. This is from the very first video that I put on here a year ago. I'm telling y'all, and this is what I get mad at. Who was the civil rights funded by? Who was the NAACP set up by? I'm about to show you. Yeah, Talbert Swan. That's what you a part of. See, you the new Ida B. Wells. That's what you is. The face. Talking about the mega church. Now I said this back in 2021. Now dudes like McKissick are mad and want to leave, but like I said, it was all good when they was making money off spreading lies. These black pastors got in bed with the devil and they are losing their congregations as a result. They was warned but would not listen, and now they are the ones being rejected. A lot of churches have went into foreclosure, regentrified, and turned into apartment buildings. Think you doing something because you work for the NAACP and you calling yourself like you do for your people. Man, that organization is false. Just like you. Ain't nothing real about you. If you got something to say, call the man's name out in the pulpit. Don't try to be slick. Say what you got to say. Because we're going to say what we got to say to you. I know I am. But these people is going to bust hell wide open. Joella, Old Queen. Y'all want to call yourselves men of God. Even you, Bishop Wooten. You a wannabe bishop. You ain't no real bishop. You don't know the word of God talking about some. It ain't your birthday. Whose birthday is it? Because Christ wasn't born on December 25th. You too old to be teaching false doctrine. But I call you an old senile fool. Because that's what you are. Y'all ain't nothing but pagans. You've dropped what the Most High established to pick up pagan traditions of men. And you led your people in the wrong way. And you gonna have to pay for that. Y'all faces is gonna be cracked when you stand in judgment. Y'all led people wrong. And I'm about to show you right now. But not just for Sunday worship alone. No, you're going for a whole slew of things that you thought didn't matter. But when you stand in judgment, you will see just how much they matter. On that day, you will see that what you thought was small was in fact very big to the Most High. The best way for me to explain it is that the day of judgment will be just like court, but neither the judge nor the system will be corrupt. The books will be open. What books? The books that hold every word, every thought, and every action, every intent of our being. Ain't no plea deals. Many so-called Christians, the many who shall come in the name of Christians, are banking on Christ, but are going to get their face cracked, especially the apostle, the bishops, pastors, and deacon freakums. Only on the day of judgment will many see how it all ties together. Not only did you worship on Sunday, but you also did these things. Tied yourselves to the mother harlot, the Roman Catholic Church, who Esau, aka white man, produced 98% of your false denominations and your false doctrines. Tied yourselves to the mother harlot, Roman Catholic Church, who is responsible for atrocities such as Spanish crusades, transatlantic slave trade, exterminating damn near whole indigenous tribes, manifest destiny BS, trail of tears, and so many other atrocities committed in the name of Christ. That blood is on Christian hands. Let's not forget the Arab slave trade, because in the 7th century, the Roman Catholic Church invented what Islam is today. Already proved it. I have a video on Islam. Before the 7th century, there was no such thing as Islam. It used to be called Persian mythology, and they used to worship 364 gods, a different god for each day of the year, because, oh yeah, there's only 364 days in a year, 52 Sabbaths, according to the book of Enoch. But anyway, taught lies, saying that the law is done away with, but kept the law of tithes and twisted it to make money. Changed the word of God, because tithes is food and has never been money. Result, stealing and taking advantage of your own people, which is not loving thy neighbor. Upheld pagan traditions of men, celebrating lies on God's Son. Christ was born in September, not December, and Easter has nothing to do with Christ. You are a whole bishop that celebrates Halloween and Thanksgiving. You celebrate the slaughtering of your own people. Like, how is this not clear to you all? You worship other gods when you celebrated these holidays. So dumb that you even celebrate the slaughtering of your ancestors on Thanksgiving, all while mocking what God established, which is his feast and holy days that will be kept in the kingdom of Christ. Do you not understand that you even taught lies about Christ's resurrection? There's no such thing as a Sunday resurrection. Christ was placed in the tomb on Saturday and he rose on Tuesday. Y'all apostles, bishops, pastors, and deacons lied about damn near everything and really don't see why it's going to be a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth. It was all about your ego, creating these megachurches. Some of you have 2 or 3 megachurches. You led people to their demise. You know? And it's just, I just be amazed at how people can really sit up and back a man that, you know, that potentially was having sex with an underage girl, got her pregnant, then the baby, you know, was aborted. I mean, sin after sin is being broken, man. Then all of a sudden, when a DL undercover brother died from the stuff that he was doing down in Atlanta, now next thing you know, this adulterer who just had a baby with possibly an underage person is now down in Atlanta preaching. Ain't that something? Oh, speaking of the adultery and fornication in the church, the SA of young boys and girls, the protecting from mostly dumb women of the pedos creating broken homes. Yeah, so in my video I show stuff like this. This is coming straight from the papacy, from the Pope. See, these are facts. These are facts. These aren't just opinions, Talbert Swan. That's a fact. Get your dumb ass. Because y'all love to run the paw. Yeah, see, y'all ain't nothing like Jesus. Nothing. Y'all are nothing like Christ. Oh. It should be a White History Month so we can expose all the evil things Esau, the white man, has done in history and present. Still affect the victims and their descendants to this very day, like ooh, number 22. Ain't that something? Number 57. Number 70. Now we're getting into Marjorie Taylor Greene territory. Number 70. See, to these losers, like Swan, to these losers, this is a fact. See, before this, they worshipped on the Sabbath. Is this racist? Is this racist? I think this is racist. That's where a lot of you leadership. That's where a lot of you leadership going. Right here. Right here. That's where a lot of you leadership going. You know? Sheared, you too. You too. End result. Y'all whole organization, that leadership, y'all. Your church is false. Your doctrine is false. It's what y'all represent. You see these dates. Ain't this ugly hoe. All I hear about the Church of Garbage in Christ is your bylaws and these laws and stuff like that. I want you to know, Sheared, when you stand before the Most High, when you stand before Christ, who is not going to pardon you, no matter how hard your lovely wife sings, you're not going to be pardoned. He's going to ask you, well, shit, you got all these laws and these bylaws and everything else, but you forsake my law. You forsook my laws. You said my law didn't matter. Oh no, we ain't under that. We ain't gotta follow that. When what the Most High established, his laws was forever. Forever. The Sabbath is forever. You can even read about it in Isaiah 66 towards the end. It tells you what we're going to do. every Sabbath, from new moon to new moon, from Sabbath to Sabbath. It tells you. See, this is a future prophecy that haven't happened yet. This hasn't happened yet. This is after Christ makes his second coming to establish the New Testament on earth. Because according to Matthew 5:17 through 19, all has to be fulfilled. Well, a part of that all has to be fulfilled is Christ's second coming. And we know that he hasn't came back yet. But when he do, this is going to be the end of Marvin Winans, Marvin Sapp, Sheard, and these so-called prophets. All these so-called prophets was within the Church of Garbage in Crisis. Dang, it's crazy how you get your church stolen from you and you still end up in hell. All this fighting that you're doing over these laws and these bylaws, but you totally thrown away the Most High's laws, and then you expect to be let up in his house. Silly and delusional. Isaiah 66, verse 22. For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, from one Sabbath to another. It didn't say first day of the week. It didn't say Sunday. See, from one new moon to another, that's a feast day. The new moon, that's a feast day that you said was done away with. From one Sabbath to another. See, the Sabbath is still intact. Even in the future prophecies. The Sabbath is a feast day. Well, it's a holy day. A weekly holy day. That's why he said, remember the Sabbath. Shall all flesh come to worship before me, and they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men like Wooden, like Media, Media, Winan, Sap, Hammond, Create a Flow of Dollars, TD Jake, the Snake Mistake. Juanita Buying That Hoe. Joyce Jokerface Meyer, Benny Hennessy, who had an affair with Paula Not So Pure White, who ex-husband is a crackhead. Well, former crackhead. Everybody got a story. Men like this, though. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me. For their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh. Meet this ugly hoe. October 21st, 2017. That's when I first shared this. Yeah, I've been talking about this stuff. See, they can talk all the stuff they want to about us, but this is what they do. You see that date, 2017. That's why I love Facebook, because these is my receipts. Now you go through this list and tell me, were they not successful? Look at one. We already know the answer to that. You know, this is how we got here today, where we're at. Did they not do that? Number 3? Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Yep. Number 10. Number 10. Yep. So, y'all, I definitely appreciate you taking the time to kick it with the Savage, with the Savage, okay? Thank you for your time. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Hey, thank you even for your hate. You know, if you like this content, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. I definitely appreciate you. I definitely welcome you. Be blessed. Deuces.